like
Jam.
water, water,
Hit the
water.
brake.
Beep, beep.
Drip like
Jam.
water, water.
Hit the brake.
Beep, beep. Get out of my way! Yo, what want me youth?
You're watching The Traffic Jam.
All right, welcome everybody once again to Traffic Jam. My name is Mark. Like I always say, I'm not your regular host. I'm just filling in. And today I have one of my favorites. I won't say old school, I'll say true school. My guy, Positive K. How's it going,
Good.
sir?
What's good with it?
So I got a question for you. I always wanted to ask.
I got answers.
What does the K stand for?
K stands for knowledge. My attribute was positive knowledge, Allah. So member of the 5% nation, peace to the gods and earths, and that was my attribute, man. So I just broke it down to positive K. My name's not Kevin. It's not Keith or Kenny. People call me PK for short. I'm not the preacher's kid. It's for positive K. That's what it is. No, it's half the battle.
That I didn't know, so that's good to know. Thank you for that information. Now, you're known for a lot of songs. Known for a lot of hits. What song do you think you're most known for?
Oh, it's definitely with I Got a Man. I Got a Man is probably one of the biggest songs in hip hop to this day. There's like a few songs, or maybe like Rob Bass, It Takes Two, maybe Dresses Engine Number 9, maybe Tone Lopes Wild Thing, Bust the Move, What Your Man Got to Do With Me, Hip Hop Parade. It's up there in that category with those kind of songs that kind of just like it broke the whole gender gap, everything. It broke the age gap. I mean, the song gets played every day all over the world. So it's one of them songs that's like a staple in the hip hop culture.
Now, you had a few songs with females involved. I'm Not Having It is what I'm thinking of right now with MC Light. What are your thoughts on the current state of females in hip hop?
I think it's really it's still what it was, man. It's kind of like non-existent, not saying non-existent. A lot of girls out here, they put a lot of work in, they're mega, but you can count them all on one hand. You know what I'm saying? You just got Missy Elliott, which is probably one of the premier artists that writes and produce, which is probably one of my favorites outside of MC Light. But you got, Mega The Stallion, you got Nicki Minaj, you got Glorilla out here right now, so you can count them on the hand. It's not many. It's not many that really shine through and do what they do, man, and get in that arena and really entertain you. And I could listen to a whole album of females. I don't think I have listened to a whole female album yet since MC Light. I haven't, maybe Salt and Pepper. That probably was the last album I think I've listened to with some females on it. But MC Light's probably the only person I've listened to a full length, full form album.
Now, you mentioned some names, right? Missy Elliott, and really no shade to Missy Elliott. I love Missy Elliott. But what do you think she did to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And what I mean by that is Salt and Pepper's not in. Curtis Blow's not in. Tone Lopes not in. There are a lot of people that are not in the Hall of Fame that did a lot before Missy Elliott, but yet she's in and they're not.
Oh, I think it's just that you're thinking about Missy Elliott, the artist. You're not thinking about Missy Elliott, the producer and the writer. I mean, she produced some of the biggest songs out here, man. And she wrote for. I mean, her writing is insane. I think she got into the Hall of Fame for being a writer. You know what I'm saying? I think she wrote some of this. She wrote some big songs. She had a lot of songs. Her catalog is insane. I mean, you look at the Salt and Peppers and like you said, those people you named, you're looking at their artistry. I mean, she is just past that. She's the full package, and I think that's what got her in there. A lot of people did a lot of work, and I think a lot of people got snubbed for that Hall of Fame for a very long time. I think Kurt should have been in there a long time before a lot of people. You know, A lot of people should have been there before, you know, a lot of people that are in there right now. But I think it's well deserved for Missy Elliott, man. She wrote a lot of songs, man. A lot of songs. So I mean, top number ones. She made artists. She made careers, you know, by her writing and introducing them to the world. She made careers for people, man. So can't be mad at that. I'm not mad at Missy Elliott whatsoever. Been in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, with your career, you made a pivot. You're now doing stand-up. When did that change happen and what caused it?
It happened. Wow, it happened, man. It's so crazy, man. I've been in it for a long time, and I hate to say it because I should be much further than I am now. But I would always start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, and that's what I did, you know, because my heart was never really 100% in it. I loved it. I wanted to do it, but you know, I didn't know how to do the work. Number one. And I just thought that, you know, more or less the music career would kind of carry me over into there. But once you get there, once you're on that stage and once you're in the world of comedy, man, it's a whole different process. It's a horse of a different color. It's a whole different animal altogether. Now the energy and stuff like that is I call comedy and hip hop like cousins. You know, it's the same energy. You get that same adrenaline rush, that same euphoric thing you feel when you're on stage and you're killing. If you're ripping the party down, or if you're doing a crazy dope ass set, you know what I'm saying? You get that kind of same euphoric kind of a thing. But it's a horse of a different color. So I've always stopped and stopped. I think now I've been kind of like consistent for the last 4 years. I'd say going on 5 now, closer to 5. I've been consistent where I go up every week now, and I go up and I do time and I work on material and I take shows, and I've been turning them. I was turning a lot of shows down when people found out that I was doing it. I turned a lot of shows down because I didn't feel like I was ready. But I take the office now and I go out and I do it, and I got my own little personal crew that I take out on the road with me, and you know, so I don't got to do a lot of the heavy lifting all the time, you know. But I got a nice little crew that I take out. Um, a big shout to D'Amico Henderson and my comedian, my road dog Sunshine. She's dope as hell. And they go out with me all the time, man. And Fredo Davis, better known as Food Stamp, he comes out with me a lot also. So big shout out to them. They hold me down, man, and we go around the country and we do what we do. But it was really MC Light was the one who started the whole thing, matter of fact. I was the guy on the bus, on the tour bus that snapped on everybody. And get so bad that they want to get out and they want to fight, like like on the tour bus with Meat Kane and Jay-Z and everybody, it's like you had to have a thick skin, you know. You riding from here to, you know what I'm saying, to from New York City down to Greenville. It was a long ride. He was snapping, baby. I mean, listen, it's like, pull the bus over. We got to shoot a fair one. You went too far. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's like, come on, man. It ain't like that, Jay. No, man. No, forget that. No, forget that. We got to shoot one now. So feathers got ruffled, man. Dudes had to get outside and square up, behind snapping on the tour bus. So MC Light, we were talking one night. We was talking, just having a regular conversation. And she was like, yo, it's a travesty if you don't do stand-up. She said, I dare you just to write like 4 or 5 jokes, just write something. And I just out of doing something, I did it. Because I'm a dope writer, when it comes to lyrics and stuff, and even with the comedy stuff, I take pride in my writing. So I did it, and she laughed, and she was like, now I dare you to go on stage and do it. I'm like, you're bugging. You're crazy. You are insane, And I just one day it presented itself one day just out of the blue, and I went up and I told some jokes and whatnot, and it went over well. I didn't even go up as Positive K. I wore a hat. I pulled it down. I called myself D Money. So they said D Money is coming to the stage, and I kept turning to the side so people wouldn't see my face. And one sister picked me out. She said, "Aren't you Positive K?" She said, "I called you D Money. Who?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Don't say nothing." She said, "Yo, you were funny." And
That's
I was
what I was
like,
about to ask you.
"Yeah." I called myself D Money. I didn't want people to know I was Positive K, because that brings a lot of pressure. Even to this day, when people know that's Positive K coming up here and he's coming to tell jokes as per somebody just coming up and telling jokes, it's a whole different thing, So that's what I used to do. But Light was the one who pushed me, and I did it. and then I went up, man, and then the rest was just the ball moving, the universe doing the rest.
So were you the first one over the hill, so to speak, as far as the rappers that are doing stand-up? Because I know I heard T.I. is doing it. I haven't seen him, but I've heard about T.I. doing it. And I
Yeah,
know I think Kid from Kid and Play was doing stand-up also. So were you
yeah.
first or
Well, I was the first one. I was the first one. I remember Global Grind did a piece on me. But back that was Russell Simmons' first magazine. That was like the one of the biggest digital mags that was out at the time, and he did a big piece on me, um, and about me doing comedy. Ricky Smiley had did something when he was first got his radio show. That's how far back I went. I was the first one. The kid it was like maybe a couple of months right after I started. I think I did my first real show at it was called the Palmetto Comedy Club in Charleston, South Carolina, and I did a show up in there. I'll never forget it. I was up there with I think it was like Marvin Dixon and a couple other cats. Marvin Hunter. That was Marvin Hunter. And my partner, a guy named Ice Cream. Big shout out to Ice Cream, funny dude. Ice Cream and Mo Dixon. That's what it was. Mo Dixon, Marvin Hunter, Ice Cream, my boy Big Bubba, and it was me. And that was my first show I did that I got paid for to do some comedy. Was in Charleston, South Carolina, and that's on YouTube someplace. It's on YouTube. I mean, it's documented as far as time frame. That might have been like '09 or something like that. But I think Kid came out a couple of months after that. And he started running around doing what he was doing. But even though he was a comedic person doing movies and stuff like that, he was playing those comedic roles. So, however you want to look at it. But I mean, as far as actual stand-up, I was the first one.
nice. Now, the first time you did it, how long was your set? Was it a 5 minute? Was it a half hour? Was it how
Oh,
long?
first time had to be maybe it was about a 10-minute set. It was about a 10-minute set that I did because I think I kind of opened it up. It was a 10-minute set. I always come out to I Got a Man, even to this day. I come out to I Got a Man. And so that killed like about maybe another about 3 minutes of that. So I didn't do the whole song, but I did like about maybe 2 minutes of the record. And got them going. And then next thing you know, I went into some jokes. But about a 10-minute set, that's what it was.
Now, as I speak to a lot of comedians, they all tell me about their first time, and their first time was great. But shortly after that, they bombed. Have you hit that yet?
Oh my gosh. Come on, man. Listen, man. There's a friend of mine. I call him my sensei. His name is Zoo Man Miller. Big shout out to Zoo Man. Uh, I call it eating the biscuit. And every time I eat a biscuit, I call him on the phone. I said, yo, man, I ate a biscuit last night, man. He was like, hey, man, biscuits clear the mind, man. It clears the pipes, baby. Yeah, eat those. Hey, you need some more biscuits. Eat them biscuits, damn it. He said, biscuits help you, so yeah, man, I've eaten plenty of biscuits, man, and that's the one thing about comedy that I think it keeps you young, it keeps your mind active because you can do you can rip a show up tonight and you can eat a biscuit tomorrow. I mean, and what it is, a biscuit has no, it's not, it doesn't. No matter who you are, you can't avoid the biscuit. You could be the biggest comedian on the planet. You could be Kevin Hart. You could be Cat Williams. The biscuit is coming. The biscuit is there, and it's how you handle the biscuit and how you work the biscuit that makes the difference. When I caught my first one, I was disheveled. I was down. I was in the bed for like a week. I was curled up in the fetus position. I'm like, oh my God, people going to buy a biscuit. You know what I'm saying? And what it is, a comedian told me, he said, yo, man, that's a moment in time. He's like, you know who's thinking about that biscuit you ate? Only person thinking about it is you. You're the only one thinking about it. Ain't nobody else thinking about it but you. Everybody done moved on, and that's it. Just as much as you think about you tore a show up last night, you killed last night, and no one's your best show is no greater than the next one you got. So you kill one night, hey, you got the next show is tomorrow. The next show is next week. Hey, that killer is gone. That's over. You can't lay in there and say, I killed last night. Hey, it's over. It's on to the next show now. That's comedy. And it took me a while to learn that, man. That's why I was stopping and going and stopping and going. But I had to learn, man, nobody's thinking about that, man. You're in your own head, you're in your own feelings. Just go ahead, man. Just go and do your thing, lick your wounds, get back up, You know, take a couple of shots of that Don Julio, keep it moving. You know, that's it.
Now, as far as your style goes, what would you say your style is like? Do you tell stories or you raunchy? Um,
I am a bit blue. I'm a bit blue. I still haven't got to the point which I'm very envious of comedians who do clean comedy, man. I love it. I did a show um in Virginia Beach 2 weekends ago. Went down there, did a show. I did Newport News, and then the next day I was in Virginia Beach, and I rocked Newport News because it was, it was the brown liquor chicken wing eating crowd. I call it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can go in there, you can curse. You can kind of like snap on people. You know, this crowd was a little more different. It was kind of a mixed audience. Some young, some older people. And the guy was like, "Look, man, I booked you for the show. Should have told you in advance, but I'm on city council, and if you could please keep the cursing down, if not curse at all, I'd appreciate it." And I'm like, "Oh man, you didn't tell me that." you know. So uh, it, I edited what I was doing, but to me, in my head, in my mind, I don't think my jokes or my delivery had the same punch or the same zip to it like I thought it would if I could throw in a couple of, a couple of choice words in there to kind of make it pop for me, for my taste and my flavor. I mean, it was a good show, and it was all right show. But to me, I just feel like I haven't gotten there yet, and I take my hat off to comedians who do clean comedy. You know, I mean, I told them, I said, they told me not to curse, but I said, I'm gonna get damn sure close to it as I can. So I went up there and I did what I did. But it was a cool show, man. It was all right. But I'm working on that. That's my next thing I'm working on is to really get down some real clean material or do what I do without really cursing and still have the same effect to me.
Now, is it the material that's dirty or you just cursing? Is
Oh,
that
my subject matter is a little. It's the subject matter kind of hints towards a little raunchiness. It hints towards a little. I mean, I talk about the day and time of people, LTGB community stuff, and who's gay and who's not. And I think people should let you know. You know what I'm saying? I kind of hint around some certain things. It's suggestive, to some raunchy stuff. I don't really get into raunchy material, but I would say I'm suggestive.
okay? So I got a question I ask all comedians, and it's really hard to answer. That's why I ask it, right? Let's say NASA was putting together a space capsule and they had something in there for comedians, and you had to pick one comedian to go into this space capsule that represents comedy. Who would that comedian be and why?
Oh man, that is. If you had told me to pick about two or three, I can kind of narrow that down to you. One person that me myself, it would have to be. It would definitely be old school. Um, it would be old school. I think who I came up on listened to was Richard Pryor and Red Fox. I always lean more towards Red Fox than anybody. I mean, from all the records that my parents had that I used to play and listen to, that's how far I go back. Let's listen to records. You know, I think Red Fox had the most storytelling. He painted more of the visual picture than Rich, and I think he had more of a natural connection with you when he was talking, and I think that his delivery didn't seem to be a rush thing. Even when he cursed, it felt like it was kind of clean. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like the Zachary joke. If your breath smells exactly like your ass, you know what I'm saying? That, it was a suggestive joke. It was blue humor, but he would tell it and make it feel like it was kind of clean. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on in here and close the door, and then he started cursing. So it's like he made you feel like he was in a good place to hear some curse words. Now, Rich would just say things that would kind of make you cringe a little bit. Incredibly funny guy, but he definitely made you kind of cringe on certain things. You know, so I think if I had to do it, I would go with I'd definitely go with Red Fox, man. I think he sums up comedy from the beginning to right now. I think he is the nucleus of what all comedians do right now.
And what's funny about Red Fox, I saw something online the other day. They showed a picture of like Red Fox and um Bill Cosby, whatever, like when they were on TV and they were all grayed out. And they were only like 49 years old. I think Red Fox was like 49 when he was doing Sanford the Son. Like I didn't know that. Um, what are your plans with comedy? Like where do you plan on going? Like do you want to just ride out and do clubs? You plan on getting on into movies doing comedy? Like what are your plans with it? Where are you headed?
Um, right now with comedy, man, I'm just really trying to get the craft down. I really want to get the craft down. I want to do it justice. I want to do it as good as I could do it. And whatever roads open up for me, which I know they will. A lot of things have come to me as of recently. I got some offers from radio shows. I just shot a new film, a film recently with some young guys who got some real good funding up in Connecticut. Um, it's called The Opener, and I'm going to take this wherever it takes me. But one thing about comedy, man, like I said, it keeps you alive, man. I look at George Wallace and a lot of those guys who've been out here, DC Curry. I see these guys, man. These guys are up in age, man. They go on stage and they sit down, they get comfortable, and they get their little cognac, they spark their cigar, man. They sit down and they have a good time. I mean, that's not a bad existence, in the world of entertainment. It's not bad at all. So I think that doing shows, if I had to do that for the rest of it, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that. So like I said, I'm gonna just follow it and see where it takes me.
Now, what about music? Are you doing that again? Because L got a new project
Oh,
out.
most
Rakim got a
definitely.
project out.
It's been hard for me with music and comedy because you got I had to stop doing music for a minute to kind of to throw myself into comedy because it's not you got to get yourself in the right head. You know what I'm saying? You know, for me to be talking slick in a rhyme, and then to make myself vulnerable to tell a joke is two different things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of like getting it down now to get back into writing songs. Because it was a little crazy. But I think now what's going to happen is that my songs gonna be a little bit more funnier than they used to be. So let's look and see what happens with that. You know.
All right. And what do you have coming up? What's coming up for you? What's next?
Man, I work every night, every day of the week, but about 3 days out of the week, I got a couple of rooms here in Atlanta that I do. I do a place called Dudley's. I do a place called The Patio. Me and my partner, Fredo Davis, we on this little cigar bar tour that we do. We're running around, this little area down here, hitting all of them, man, and all the upper scale spots, And I do Uptown Comedy Corner probably about once a month, my own show. And I'm taking all bookings around the country. You know what I'm saying? So those are coming in. But I'm here, man. And hopefully I'll probably be back on the traffic jam soon. So let me see how the time frame works out with that.
Yeah, we missed you on the last one, man. We missed you on
Yeah,
that.
man, I wanted to come through, man. But one of the things I do now is I'm a caregiver, man. And once again, I'm gonna take my hat off the comedians who go through adversity and get on that stage, man. I've watched guys get on stage after losing their mother, um, going through arrests, losing a child. You know what I'm saying? I've watched comedians get back on there and tell jokes, and I'm like, yo, man, the fortitude a person has to have to go and do that is incredible. It's incredible. And I'm a caregiver. I take care of my mother. She has dementia. You know what I'm saying? She's in the latter stages of it. So that's where a lot of my time goes to. And that's why I couldn't make it. I had a new home health aide that came in and she had to leave because doing the extenuating circumstances, she had to go back to her country. And I had to make somebody new in and I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave. So those things happen, but I take my hat off to guys who do that, man. And I remember one time I ate a biscuit one time because my mother wasn't doing good at all. She was in the hospital and I had a show and I drove to the show, man. And I was tired. My mind was on my mother. I wasn't even focused, man. I remember I ate a biscuit that night and I was like, damn. So I should have just stayed home. I don't know why I came out, but those kind of things kind of build you up and make you stronger and make you, a little more prepared for the next time or the next situation things happen in life because life happens. Life happens, man. You
Yeah,
know.
man. So, respect. You know, we spoke about that earlier. So, respect for taking care of your mom. Where can people find you?
Oh man, hey, listen, man. Everybody go find me at positive underscore K underscore. That's positive underscore K underscore. That's on Instagram and Twitter. Also on Facebook. Um, Follow me. I follow everybody back, except them guys who don't wear their shirts on their profile pictures. If you got your shirt off, you know good and well. Now I'm not gonna follow you back, man. So keep your shirt on. I don't care if you came from the gym. I don't know if you're just working out in the house and you took the picture. Just put your shirt on, and I'll follow you back. But don't you ain't got your shirt off? It ain't happening. So I follow everybody back, man. You show me love, I show you love, man. So that's what I do.
Well, sir, my pleasure having you on. Hopefully we get you in the next Traffic Jam Comedy Jam.
Hey man, looking forward to it. See you in a minute, man. Keep it positive, keep it funny, keep laughing, and I'll see y'all in a minute.
Traffic jam.
Drip like
Jam.
water. Water.
Hit the brake.
Beep, beep.
Drip like
Jam.
water. Water.
Hit the brake.
Beep, beep. Get out of my way!
Yo,